Hey guys, it's Indy. We're doing some AskReddit today. Once again, this thread titled, "Those who have been or are currently in the foster care system, what do you wish people knew?" I have a little brother who was adopted from the foster system. Our parents are good people. The most heartbreaking things that I noticed from him are that in the beginning he was kind of confused at being treated well by our parents, and also confused at being treated as just one of us, / included in the family. There are some not so good foster homes out there. My parents were foster parents from the time I was 7 up until I moved out of the state 4 years ago. I'm in my late 30s now. I was adopted as a baby, and they took on foster care as a way to help me process things as well as to help other kids who needed it. My baby sister was adopted from foster care when I was 3 or 4, after we had her from when she was born up until when she went back to live with her mom for a year and then ended up coming back with us. I know there's some crappy foster homes because I've seen a few, but I like to think the majority are like my parents. They're not saints or anything, but they certainly are the type of people all of us should aspire to be. I was in foster care on and off for some of middle / high school, and always a difficult adjustment to living the life I was living. No rules, everyone was doing drugs at the time, and seemingly I'd get more in line and fit in with the family, and then get moved back home with a family member, then it would start again. I want people to know how hard early adulthood is with no family though. I turned 17, got kicked out, and was too old to be replaced. I graduated high school living at my boyfriend's parents' house at the time. I had, miraculously, a teacher who told me that I could go to college and he would actually help me make that happen. I mean, this man showed up to my shitty part-time job on the weekends and dropped off food, books, gifts, gift cards for gas, and helped me fill out my FAFSA and write my admission essays. He literally changed my life because he cared. Now I'm an adult, 26, and I'm still amazed I made it. I don't have any kids of my own, but I can't wait to get to the point where I can foster kids. I know what it's like, and sometimes being a foster parent isn't only, I'm going to adopt a baby. Sometimes it's, I'm going to make sure this angry 16-year-old knows that there's options for their future. And I want to be that person for someone. My family did foster care for 26 years. I was adopted when I was 5. Some are pure and want to help and maybe expand. Some are in it for the money. I've always been interested in older foster kids when I get of age and life goal, but I honestly never knew that people got paid for this, or could be taken advantage like that. Gross. Foster parent here. It's supposed to be used to help the children pay for necessities like clothes, food, soccer leagues, and other stuff. Out of curiosity, how much do you guys get? Depends on the state law. The highest I've seen is around $700 a month per child. The lowest I've seen is $400 or $500. Foster care was fine. It's after you leave that's hard. Being a new adult with absolutely nobody to guide you. You want to move on and you have no help. A crisis comes up and you have nobody to call. Nobody to help you figure out anything about jobs or apartments or bank accounts or insurance. No mom and dad to lend you $20 when you can't pay your check, and it isn't gonna last until the next payday. You're sent out on your own, 18 years old, completely alone with no idea how anything works in the world. It's terrifying. I second this entirely. My adult life has been spent fearing homelessness. One bad thing happens and I have no one to fall on to help me. Pretty much. I have no parents, and while I do have some family to rely on, none of them are in a position to be relied on, if that makes sense. It's terrifying, being young and on your own with no fallbacks. You're just 1 or 2 paychecks away from a disaster. For work, I run a non-profit program that works with kids in foster care systems, pairing them with a volunteer advocate. This is probably the hardest part of the job, knowing that these kids are going to turn 18 and it all changes. Granted, kids do have the option of voluntarily signing up to keep themselves in care until 21 if they meet certain requirements, working part-time, enrolled in school, but still, all that aid and services still have an end date. And OP is right. There's not enough done while these kids are growing up to prepare them for the adult life on their own. American society as a whole does a piss poor job of preparing normal circumstance kids for adult life. Foster care kids have so much more going on and to worry about. They don't have as much to learn all that they do, not even to mention the lack of support system. Edit. So this post kind of blew up, and I have a lot of folks asking for more info on how they can get involved. The program I'm talking about is a court-appointed special advocate program. We're a network of trained community volunteers who advocate for the best interests of abused and neglected kids involved with the court system. If you're looking for more info or want to find out more about the programs in your area, you can look at casaforchildren.org. I was in foster care in my teens. My experience may be different than others, but I found that if you ain't small and cute, you get treated like tainted goods. The social worker doesn't really care about you unless you can make the business money, and if you make them good money, they find a way to keep you for as long as possible. They can keep a child until they are under 24 quite easily. You often get treated like you're bad just because your parents didn't want you anymore. Upon arriving at a group home, I was instantly stripped of all privileges, including being able to listen to music, and had to earn the smallest things back over the next 3 months. It felt like I was being punished. There's also no resources for when you leave the system. Foster families are often low income and using you for the extra income given to take care of you without actually using the money on you. They often don't teach you life skills, education can easily get messed up because you're moving around so much and you have become inconvenienced to the family. Switching between blocks and periods makes it so that your credit doesn't count in certain instances. When I left foster care, I found out about a year and a half of my schooling wouldn't count and it would take another 3 months for them to transfer my records. The school told me to drop out and get my GED. I was in foster care since I was 9. It is, and I cannot stress this enough, nothing like your family life. Many of us were taken from our parents or outright ditched by them. I'm the latter. Some of us never will meet our parents. A lot of foster families, I've been in some, have no qualms about reminding you of the godly gift of the smallest, shittiest room in the building. They often are very quick to bring up the power to instantly evict you with just a single phone call with little to no justification for it. Foster siblings, especially if they're teenage and or used to be the only children, will constantly and not hesitate to take advantage of their parents' favoritism over you. But it's not all hellish. I eventually got put into a very good placement. They went through hell to help me through the hell of my mind and emotions and to help me balance out as a person. They made sure I was aware of the pride they felt for me without being too overwhelmingly conceited anyways. They were always good to me and they even allowed me to stay and rent my room after I left the care system. There are good people as foster parents. They just need to be more. I got really lucky and I was placed with a decent family that didn't treat me like a second-class citizen. I was family. I've seen horror stories of other places where kids starve or are mistreated in their homes. I had the best possible situation and I won't deny that at all. However, it's still so much to deal with as a small child. Remember when you were a kid and you cried when you were left at the babysitter's? Imagine going to live at the babysitter's house. My mom wasn't a bad mom. She was a troubled woman trying to get away from her abuser. I was in the home for about half a decade, which is an eternity for a small kid. At 10, half of my life had been split between 2 moms and I wasn't sure how I was allowed to feel. When I finally went back home, would my real mom be upset that I missed my foster mom? Should I talk about missing my old school? The home I stayed in also had upwards of 4 foster kids at the time, who shuffled in and out. A bunch of kids from ages 3 to 16 who went through some horrendous stuff. And there I was, a broken kid surrounded by other broken kids. It's a hell of an environment, no matter how good the parents are. And that was AskReddit. So if you guys watched my last video, I don't know what the fuck is going on with YouTube. But so the video was originally 13 minutes and 9 seconds long, and then I got cut to like 10 minutes and 45. It got cut off like prematurely. Like YouTube shaved off a whole like 3 minutes off the end of the video, which is really fucking annoying because I sat there editing that like forever, even though I'm sure it doesn't seem like a lot. It's only 3 minutes, and like 3 minutes in video time translate to probably like 3 or 4 times that in editing. But that was super annoying, especially because the last story that was in the video was so funny. But yeah, I'm kind of triggered about that, not gonna lie. I had half a mind to re-upload the video. But I don't know if it's that serious. Yeah. But I've got like a month, maybe a little less than, till I go back to school. I'm so excited. Sophomore year. If you guys didn't know, I don't know how old you guys like thought or assumed that I am. I have a friend on here. His name is, well, I don't know if I really should disclose his name because I don't know how he gets down like that. But if you have ever seen the channel, it's another small Reddit channel. It's called Let's Read Reddit. If you go on my page, I'm sure it's in the channels that I'm following because I follow him. But anyways, when I was talking to him, and it's so funny because we were just talking about Reddit and making videos and other stuff, and like he assumed that I was like, I don't know how old he thought I was, but when he found, he did not, I'm 19, okay? And he didn't think that I was this, quote, young. I mean, I don't know how old I sound, but your girl is only 19 in the game already. You already know what it is. But, yeah. Anyways, like I was saying, I tend to get off topic easily. It's sophomore year. I'm super excited. You don't understand. I'm so ready to get out of my hometown and go back to my college town and just live my best life. Your girl is ready to hit the bars. Just kidding. Ha ha ha. Or am I? Anyways. Yeah, but anyways, the only Thank you, George, for being really annoying. Anyways, the only thing left for me to say is bye.